So believe it or not, what's gotten in the way of me giving an update on my elk rifle is elk season. We are 4 weeks into depredation season. There's a couple of weeks left. And I've been out, 5 or 6 times. So I've been too busy hunting with this rifle to give an update about this rifle. But spoiler alert, the scope problem has been fixed. So I picked up a bunch of pieces and parts that said they would match the Weatherby rifle. And the guy at the gun counter overheard me asking someone, probably another customer, a question. And he said, hey, come over here. I went over and he looked at all the options I had. And he said, what you need is this rail, the loopholed rail, and you need Warney rings to go on the rail. He said, the problem is you are using traditional scope rings on a hard kicking rifle. That's going to give you problems. You need to use a rail and you need to get these vertically split scope rings. So that's what I did. I've got these loopholed backcountry rail, and I've got these Warney Maxima scope rings. It took me much longer to find the right piece on the display in the store than it took me to mount it. I took the rifle down and it was shooting like a dream. Well, it looks like we are sighted in. We put 2 bullets right in the bullseye at 100 yards. It took me a little bit longer to zero it than I expected. I bore sighted it, started out, and my first shot was, like 8 inches at 9 o'clock. And I thought, okay, we can go from here. It actually took me like 3 or 4 shots to walk it into the bullseye. And here's what we did. First shot, second, third. Whoops, overcorrected. 4th, 5th, 6th. But once I got it in the bullseye, the next, I put 1 round in the bullseye. I clicked 1 click, so a quarter MOA, or a quarter inch at 100 yards, and fired a second round, and they are at 100 yards, a quarter inch apart. Those were all the 200 grain spear. So this thing is, it's dialed in. And then I took a bunch of shots with different ammo to just ensure that the scope wasn't moving around. It's been holding great. Then I came up here and I took 1, 2 shots with that. Now this one scared me. I thought, no, scope's moving again. The next one hit right in the middle. So I'm calling that a pulled shot. Came over here, these are 250 grain burgers. 1, 2, 3. So you know what? I don't think the scope's moving. And I've been carrying it up and down hills, tracking elk, following elk, trying to cut them off at the pass, and getting a lot of exercise, and have now some field experience carrying this rifle. Don't have any field experience shooting an elk with it yet. Although I've been doing all the right things, it just hasn't been working out this year. And you know what they say? That's why they call it hunting, not killing. So I have a few loads I've been working on for this rifle. This is the load I showed originally. This is the Berger Elite Hunter. It's a 250 grain bullet. It's sitting, I don't know, it's like 96 grains of powder or something in there. And these I've clocked at 2,835 feet per second. This works, but I don't like how deeply the bullet is seated. And that's actually the load data from Berger. So it's not like I, made a mistake. I have measured this so many times. This is what Berger gives as load data. So the obvious thing for me to do is start seating this less and less deeply and try to figure out a nice seating depth for it. The last time I shot 3 of these at a target, I got like a fist-sized group at 100 yards, which for a hunting rifle is probably acceptable, but I haven't been super wowed by that. I'm going to come back to the burgers, but right at the moment, it's elk season. I need to go with what works better. So this is the load I've been carrying in the woods looking for elk. This is a 200 grain spear hot core. It's a soft point. It's sitting on top. This is the starting load from Hodgdon. The Hodgdon website load data with this bullet gives this as the starting load. It's 98 grains of Hodgdon 4831. According to the load data, this should be getting 2,977 feet per second. I haven't actually clocked any of these. This groups shockingly well. Like, the only reason the holes aren't touching each other is because I actually adjusted the windage. 4th, 5th, 6th. Those were all the 200 grain spears. So the accuracy of this load is shocking. Now, I had one of my neighbors stop by and tell me, hey, I don't have a 338 anymore, but I still have a bunch of old Hornady bullets. Would you like them? So he gave me these Hornady bullets. These are the Hornady interlocks. They are 250 grain bullets. So I've loaded up a ladder for these, but I haven't had range time to actually try it. One of the things I've noticed, if you do your research on load data for hunting, any combination that you can find in a loading manual, you will find people who swear up and down that it's the single best thing they've ever tried. And you will find other people who swear up and down that it's trash and it never works. And they had to track an elk for at least 1,000 miles once they shot it with that load. So I'm sort of taking all the advice with sort of a pinch of salt. But at this point, I've got 10 of these burgers loaded up. I was anticipating these being the load I carried, but I've been happier with how the spears perform as far as accuracy. I've got these spears, which I've been actually carrying hunting. They've been in and out of this rifle umpteen times the last few weeks. And then I've got these Hornadies that I haven't had a chance to go to the range and check. The spears are running me about $1.90 a round. The burgers are running me like $2.24 a round, I think, with the new powder. And the Hornadies, I haven't run a price on, but since I got the bullets for free, they're going to be probably about $1.40 to $1.50 a round. So if I can get the Hornadies to work, they're going to definitely be my lowest price option. You know, a final note, this is not a light rifle. This is the Weatherby Mark V AccuMark, and this is not a light scope. This is the Vortex Viper PST Gen 2. Both of this combination together is like 10 pounds. And these bullets, they're not hugely heavy, but you can tell they're not lightweights. I mean, these things look like cigars. So when I'm carrying this thing around, I've got, 10 pounds plus ammo sitting on my shoulder. And it is actually pretty heavy. I bought this sling. You can't see it very well. I had done a little bit of researching on the best rifle sling here. See if I can get a better view of it. And a lot of people recommended this. It's the Claw. And it's not very expensive. It's like a, $20 sling or something. And I thought, well, here I thought I'd be getting some kind of really nice sling. And I ended up with this $20 sling. This sling is awesome. It doesn't adjust. It's not like some kind of, tactical sling where you've got all sorts of little pulleys and locking lugs and cool little ways to adjust the sling in real life. That's not what it's for. It's a carry strap. But what makes this sling so much better than anything else I've tried This material grabs your shirt or your jacket or even your backpack, and it doesn't move. So I've got this rifle slung up. I'm walking over deadfall. I'm climbing up hills. I've had some adventures over the last few weeks trying to find an elk. I've actually found a couple elk that were so deep in deadfall and forest that I just let them, I didn't even try to shoot them because I had no way to get them out of there. So this sling, this claw sling, has sold me. I love this sling. I want to say I paid $19 for it, maybe $20 for it on Amazon. This sling's awesome. That being said, people have, made some comments about the weight of the rifle. This thing's going to be a beast to carry. Yeah, it's a beast to carry. Honestly, the biggest problem I have with the rifle is that the barrel is so long. And then, of course, I've been carrying the muzzle brake on it. The barrel's so long that it's hard to walk under branches. But, if you're okay carrying your rifle and shifting it and not, if you're paying attention to your rifle and you're not trying to rush your way through the bush, then it's not a problem. The weight of the rifle, it might be nice to have a lighter rifle, but, I'm going hunting. If I wanted to get meat cheaply and easily, I could go to the store. Hunting is work. That's what I signed up for. So it's not bothering me that I'm having to carry this thing around.